Hi there guys, welcome back to Boxpred. Here I'm going to give my brief thoughts on a big fight that's happening in the UK this weekend, which seems to have quietened down a bit from the first time these two guys fought, which caused a big hype and people were really talking about it, really excited, but they don't seem to be talking about it so much now. But I'm definitely really excited for this fight, and of course I am talking about Scott Quigg and Rendall Munroe going up against each other for the interim WBA World Super Bantamweight title. Kind of overshadowed now by Ricky Hatton's comeback fight, but nevertheless, this is going to be, and I'll be tuning in, put it that way. In the first fight, I picked Rendall Munroe by decision. However, I have changed my mind. It's something I don't normally like doing, but I'm going to do it here because something I saw in that first fight has changed my mind about the outcome of this, and I'm actually going to go for Scott Quigg to win this by a decision. Now, in the first fight, things were happening that I had expected. Rendall Munroe from the off was the more come-forward, front-footed fighter, and he was throwing more volume. Scott Quigg, on the other hand, was on the back foot for a lot of the time, and he was more defensive. He had a very good defensive base, and he was covering himself up very well. But something that really caught my attention was the quality of punches that Scott Quigg was able to land on Munroe. Now, Munroe was struggling to get through to Quigg. He was getting blocked. All his punches were getting blocked. He was throwing a lot of punches, but not much success there. And Quigg seemed quite comfortable at defending against it. And Quigg was just throwing just quality counters, quality little punches here and there, just crisper, more powerful punches, they seemed like. And he was catching Munroe, not a lot of times, but he did catch Munroe on a couple of occasions, both up top and to the body. And I visibly saw something there that I feel that Scott Quigg may have Rendall Munroe's number in terms of quality. Now, the question is, will the judges choose quality over quantity? That is the question, the big question. Also, I don't think it was surprising that these guys actually ended up clashing heads, because if you look at the fight, both guys lean forward, and particularly when Scott Quigg throws punches, sometimes he does move forward with the head, and of course when you got both two guys leaning forward, and I believe it's southpaw against orthodox, that causes trouble, and it was just kind of an accident waiting to happen. So I wouldn't rule out that happening again, guys, because it's all very well saying these guys did it once before, they won't make the same mistake again. When you're in that ring and you're trying your very best, you can't sometimes control what happens, and I wouldn't rule out that happening again. Also, Munroe has that cut in the back of his mind. Will that affect him? And also, will it be opened by a punch this time rather than just a headbutt? Will Quigg be able to target that area? How is that healed up? Has it healed up well, or is it going to be opened again? Is it going to be an ongoing problem for Rendall Munroe? These are questions that have to be answered, and they can only be answered on the night, I'm afraid. Again, I think that Munroe will come with the volume, but I think Scott Quigg will come with the quality of punches. I wouldn't rule out a stoppage later on by Quigg, because like I said, if he can open up a cut, that may stop the fight by like a TKO. I'm going to give Rendall Munroe the benefit of the doubt, because I think he's lasted with the likes of Nishioka, who was also he was a world-class fighter, and I know he's recently been beaten by Nonito Donaire, stopped, all the rest of it, but at the end of the day, he was dominant for years, and he was a champion for years. So when Rendall faced him, and I think Munroe is quite battle hardened, and he's the type of guy who you'll have to really beat him up to stop him. But if he gets cut, then what can he do? That's something he doesn't have control over. But I'm going to go for this by distance, and I think that Scott Quigg gets it by decision. I've just changed my mind based on the quality. I just think he's going to be able to hit Munroe more than Munroe's going to be able to hit him. I think Munroe is slightly more open, and I think that Scott Quigg is going to be able to. He's got a bit more quality and accuracy in his punches. So, I wouldn't be betting on this fight. This fight is still far too close to call. I'm not going to touch it with any bets, but I will predict and give my opinion, and I'm choosing Scott Quigg by decision. Let me know what you guys think. Has your opinion changed on the fight since the first fight? Are you sticking with your guns? Let me know. As always, thanks for watching. This is Boxpred, and I'm out.